The only issue I had with Rob Schneider, in that moment, he didn't have the sense of me trying to say something serious, right? And he was getting a laugh off this one joke, and it was at my expense. You know, when I had this moment, I was talking about friendship and everything. Rob kept on with this fucking corny joke, and I didn't want to flip out. And then people took that as like, oh yeah, Rob roasted him. The fuck out of here.
Donnell Rawlings has been living in the comments section for a year. Not literally, but every time his name comes up in connection with Kill Tony, it's the same recycled story. He walked off. He couldn't take a joke. He got roasted into submission. That clip followed him.
What? You counting too?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm on your team, nigga.
I know, man. I love you, but I hate you because I'm a Wu-Tang fan, so...
Yo, how you gonna do this to me,
A minute, it's the same distance.
All right, let's get right into it. By a show of hands, guys.
So when he sat down with Joe Rogan this week and finally unpacked both of his Kill Tony appearances, their infamous walk-off and their chaotic comeback episode with Rob Schneider, it wasn't just casual reflection, it was reputation management. Because when you've been doing this as long as Donnell has, you don't want one viral moment defining your entire relationship with a show. On Rogan, Donnell pushed back hard on the walk-off narrative. He claimed he had another commitment and that the edit made it look like he left because he got flustered. Rogan didn't fully rewrite history for him. He described it as a rough show, admitted Donnell was probably a little drunk, and acknowledged that the energy got weird.
This is what I get, and I'm telling you this, Joe. I don't know if this gum is kicking in. This is what fucks me up, Joe. This is what fucks me up. And I'll tell you example. I'm gonna give you an example.
Don't give me examples.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Are you pulling out your phone?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because your fucking shirt is fucking triggering me right
Kill
now.
Tony?
No,
You mean
I
the
want
greatest comedy show of all time in the history of the known universe?
I know that, but there's a lot of lies involved. Okay, listen, this is what they say. This is what they say.
Don't pay attention to what they say.
No, listen.
Why are you doing that?
Yo, you told me.
What are you playing?
Things that the Kill Tony audience say about me.
Chappelle's butt plug is acting up again.
Yo, I gotta deal with this shit. What is so hard? No.
Well, you got to stop paying attention to it.
It's so hard.
You know what would happen to me if I paid attention to all the haters that I have?
Yeah.
I would go crazy.
You would. Do you think that you paid attention to those haters? Now, you're in a position right now, you have so many reasons to say fuck them. Do you feel like you had that same belief when you was first starting this? Did you engage them then?
Well, I engaged online with a lot of people in the early days because I didn't understand what you're doing is you're engaging with people that don't have happy lives.
Right.
And they're negative. And there's some criticisms that are good for you because some criticisms make you evaluate what you're doing and say, okay, well, what I need to do is be undeniable so these critics mean nothing to me because you can't, I'm killing, the audience loves me, I'm selling out everywhere, I'm doing great on stage. That you can't pay attention.
You know what? I will say this. I hear you, Joe. I tried that with them motherfuckers on your shirt.
You had a bad show. You had one bad show.
I never had.
You had a bad show. You had a bad
Please
show.
don't do this to me.
You did. You had that one bad show where you went back and forth with it. You walked. Did you walk off the show?
Listen, man.
Sit the fuck down.
But what stood out wasn't whether he technically walked off. It was that Donnell clearly felt misunderstood. That matters. Now fast forward to his second appearance, what Brian Redban called one of the most epic comebacks in Kill Tony history. This time he was seated next to Rob Schneider. And that's where things get layered. Donnell made it clear on Rogan that the episode itself was amazing. He didn't deny that. But he has specific issues with Schneider's approach.
But this is what Redman, whatever the man he is. Redman, he said, after the show, he said, that might have been the most epic comeback in Kill Tony history. I was like,
well, the second episode was. You came back full steam.
You know what you're doing? I don't know.
It was great.
I'm trying to use the term. I don't think this is passive wrestle, but you fucking with my mental right now.
No, I'm telling you, you're a great comic and you're funny as fuck. And when you came back, it was amazing.
That's what you said.
The second episode was great.
This is the point I'm making of what you're doing.
Right.
The first episode was great. It was Dr. It was Dr. Video, son. Dr. Video. You doctored it. But then here's the thing. They said, Red Band, he said, that was the greatest comeback. I was like, it wasn't a comeback. You're editing what it was. And this is what I did.
You're editing.
First time I ever did it, I was interrupting the 1 minute part. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
Tony told me, first time I did it, he said, D, only one rule. He said, let them talk for a minute. I said, Tony, why you have me on this show? You know I'm going to break the rules. And he knew that, right? But then after I was like, I understood how important it was to let those comics get that minute.
Right.
So when I did it the second time with Rob Schneider, I didn't interrupt. Sometimes my criticism could have been too hard. I was trying to be more supportive than anything. If you watch the last one I did, I had nothing bad to say about people in a harsh way. Certain people I knew was up there just because it was gimmick, and there were certain people I was like, oh man, they really got talent. Going back to what I was saying about the Kill Tony thing, and this is another thing. People said, well, Donnell, you got upset because Rob Schneider was roasting you or whatever. First off, there was the first time Rob Schneider was on the show, right? He didn't really know too much about the Kill Tony platform. I knew a little more than he did. And at the beginning, he was kind of cold, if you want to say. Not cold, like not funny, but he just wasn't warmed up to the flow. And then I started saying things. I was alley-ooping him, right?
Right.
And basically, people can say what they want. I helped get him comfortable in the show. And then he started crushing, right? He started crushing. And then anybody tell you that episode was amazing, right?
It was amazing.
Instead of competing for the spotlight, Donnell claims he was facilitating it. And if you actually rewatch the episode, that's not a crazy take. He wasn't steamrolling. He was playing off people. He was keeping tempo. But the real tension came during what Donnell thought would be a sincere moment.
But this is the thing. This is what that platform is not a place for you to tell how you really feel about somebody, right? And I owed Tony an apology, and I'll tell you why. When Tony did the Aryan Republic National Convention, whatever, remember when he did the roasting?
Yes.
For that, it was a very, very testy time. You know,
Right.
Politics, everybody said you shouldn't do this and everything.
I told him not to do it.
You told him not to do the show? Or
No,
not to do that?
the Republican Party thing.
Here's the thing. This is what, just for the people that's listening, this is what happened at the end of that Kill Tony with me and Rob Schneider. All I wanted to do, I had the question on, where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line of what people think, how you're supposed to respond to something, or are you loyal to somebody, or how they treat you and how they are as a friend to you? And Tony wanted me to do that show, and anytime I've called Tony, he's picked up the phone, vice versa. We've been in for each other. My publicist, I don't know if this is a good idea right now, too, because what you think is a nice gesture, you want to do the show, people are going to act like it's a political stand. I didn't want that, right? So I
You
had to
can't listen to publicists.
This is what I learned now, Joe. What I'm saying, that was my inexperience, whatever, and something I kept calling her. I was like, what if I do this? Because I wanted to be reconnected with him, whatever, and I told Tony, he was hot in a good way, in a positive way. I felt so bad, I called him, I said, man, I really want to do the show, but I think people are going to take it the wrong way now, right? And this with me, I felt bad about it. I stood up at your condo. I was on the balcony, bruh, and I watched motherfuckers going to the show. I felt bad about it. I didn't do it. And the only thing I wanted to do at the end of that Kill Tony episode was to apologize to him and say, you know, as a friend, I probably wasn't there. And he understood, even though I was like, he's never going to let me do the show again. He said, I'd love to have you there. The only issue I had with Rob Schneider, in that moment, he didn't have the sense of me trying to say something serious, right? And he was getting a laugh off this one joke, and it was at my expense. You know, when I had this moment, I was talking about friendship and everything. Rob kept on with this fucking corny joke, and I didn't want to flip out. And then people took that as like, oh yeah, Rob roasted him. The fuck out of here.
The truth is this. Donnell Rawlings was one of the better Kill Tony guests of 2025. Not because he dominated, but because he understood pacing. Like he said on Rogan, he alley-ooped. That matters in that format. It's not just about who gets the biggest laugh, it's about who keeps the rhythm alive. Now zoom out for a second. Darnell's subtle criticism of Schneider doesn't exist in a vacuum. Godfrey recently went in on Rob Schneider as well, criticizing his MAGA associations and questioning his broader positioning in the comedy world.
Rob Schneider, the comedic actor that we all know, funny dude, been in a lot of Adam Sandler films, was from SNL. He's a stand-up comic, been doing stand-up comedy for a long time. And, you know, I was watching a documentary on him and his Filipino heritage. Yeah, because he has Filipino heritage. I think his grandmother's Filipino, he has Filipino relatives, so he's part Filipino, which is insane. Insane, yes. So I noticed he started talking about right-wing ash. He's MAGA, this whole nine, which I don't understand.
But I walked into a bar, and they kicked me out of a bar. I was wearing a, MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, Trump hat.
Wait, what? You're MAGA? But you're part Filipino. You Filipino heritage. I don't know. So his wife is divorcing him, filing for divorce. A lot of MAGA husbands, their wives are divorcing them, which you deserve. Nobody wants to be around that kind of evil. And I'm disappointed by Rob Schneider, man. You can do it. Yeah, that's up.
Schneider has leaned heavily into political identity over the past few years, and that has rubbed parts of the comedy community the wrong way. So when Donnell critiques Schneider's awareness and tone, it's not an isolated sentiment. There's a broader discomfort around Schneider in certain circles. But here's the key distinction. Donnell didn't attack Schneider politically on Rogan. He attacked him rhythmically. He wasn't arguing ideology, he was arguing timing. And that's a much more interesting conversation. Because in comedy, timing is everything. Donnell's complaint wasn't Rob isn't funny. It was Rob didn't know when to stop. That's different. And to Rogan's credit, he let Donnell explain himself without turning it into a roast session. The biggest takeaway from this episode wasn't drama. It was how fragile narratives can be. One clip becomes gospel, one edit becomes history, one awkward exchange becomes proof of weakness. Donnell sounded less defensive and more reflective. He wasn't denying that things got messy. He just wanted context. And in today's comedy ecosystem, where every moment is clipped, memed, dissected, context is everything. The irony? The same episode people use to question him is the one he calls amazing. Because if you look closely, he wasn't bombing. He was facilitating. He wasn't spiraling. He was navigating. Sometimes the loudest comic in the room gets the credit. But sometimes the most valuable one is the one throwing the assist. And whether people admit it or not, Donnell made it clear on Rogan. He was throwing lobs.